Hi there, this is Nicole here at Tribal Health. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the federal clearance process and what you're going to need to gather beforehand and what it means for you. So just a little backstory here at Tribal Health. I've been a recruiter, but also for the last year I've been working on W-2 credentialing. So for all the nurses and medical assistants and basically anybody who's not the doctors, I work on clearance for the site. I'm also a nurse, and so I have recently gone through the federal background clearance process myself. I'm actively going through it. So I have a little bit of extra insight to share. One of the things that I wish I had known before I started completing this was how much time it was going to take just to enter all the little details in on the e-app. Now you're going to go through a background clearance process with Tribal Health. It's going to be very simple. You're going to sign a form that says you agree to let us check your background. But when you go through the clearance process for the facility that you're going to go to, it's going to be a little more in depth. They're going to have you fill out a whole bunch of forms, like 20 pages or so. My job here at Tribal is to help you fill those out and get them submitted in a really quick, easy, timely manner. About 4 weeks after all of your federal forms are submitted and your fingerprints are received at the site, you're going to receive a few emails. One is going to be from somebody at ihs.gov. That email is going to alert you that you have been assigned an e-app. That stands for electronic application. The second email is going to come to you from do not reply at nbis.mil. It's real spammy looking, and so it will end up probably in your junk folder or your promotions folder. Mine was in my deleted because I didn't know to look for it. So you're going to want to start looking when your recruiter tells you, or when I alert you, or when the facility alerts you. You're going to want to start checking every day for an email from nbis.mil. While you're waiting for these emails, it would behoove you to start collecting all the little details that are going to be asked for on this e-app. Among these details are going to be the specific addresses for any place that you've worked in the last 7 years, as well as the names of your supervisors, if you can find them, and their contact information. You're going to want to have your addresses for the last 7 years as well. And you're also going to need to find somebody you trust who will vouch for the fact that you've lived at those addresses. So, a close friend, a distant family member, but not a sibling or a parent. The information you're going to need from that person is their full name, first, middle, and last, their date of birth, their current address, and their phone number, and an email address. While you're digging up information on that one person, you're also going to want to go ahead and collect the information for 3 references of people who will say that they know you well. That can go back as far as 25 years. It can go back as far as little as 1 year. This could be coworkers. This could be any kind of family friend, but again, not a relative. Next, you're going to want to collect the information for yourself, obviously, and your spouse if you're married. If you've been married and are now divorced, you're still going to want to collect that spouse's information. Again, the name, full name, address, phone number, and an email address. And then you're going to want to collect information on your parents and step-parents, if you have any, as well as your spouse's parents and step-parents, if they have any. For the moms in your life, if they have been married and divorced or married and remarried, you're going to want to have their maiden name and the dates used. So that's from when they were born till when they changed their name the first time. If they've changed their name multiple times, you're going to want to have the dates for all of those as best you can. There is a little box where you can mark that it's estimated dates. The remaining piece of information that you're going to want to track down is for your college. Where did you get your degree from? If you went to a satellite campus, that's not typically still going to be the place where your records are housed. So you're going to want to track down your college, and then you're going to want to find out where their records are housed so that they can send a request over to them. So you'll need the college name and address. The last thing you really need to know about completing the EAP is that it is going to ask you some very personal questions. It's not to weed you out or to make you feel like you didn't get the job, but this is for the federal government. So they are going to ask you outright if you've been involved in any terrorist activity. They are going to ask you if you've been fired or had to quit in lieu of being fired. And they are going to ask you if you've had any problems with drug or alcohol abuse. Just be honest. So that's really all I wanted to share with you about completing the EAP. Less is more. Be honest and collect as much information as you can before you sit down to fill out this EAP, so it doesn't take you the 5 hours that it took me to fill it out.